Well, when the FDA issues a warning about risks associated with medications, we expect our doctors to be the first to know. Well, it turns out they are sometimes the last to catch on, as a local physician found out after suffering a crippling side effect from a common antibiotic.
At my worst point, I had called local cemeteries. I gave my family my final wishes.
It was December 2016. Dr. Mark Galili of Beverly Hills should have been living his dream. He had recently completed medical training.
You're just getting started, it's exciting.
But his career and life took an unexpected turn.
I was at the gym, running on the treadmill.
All of a sudden,
I noticed I couldn't stand.
within minutes, he says,
I was on the floor, crying, grasping for life.
he had lost control of the muscles in his legs.
I was completely debilitated.
As he Googled his symptoms, he noticed something in common with other people suffering similar experiences. Like them, he had recently been sick, and
I was prescribed a common antibiotic called Ciprofloxacin for an infection that I had.
Ciprofloxacin, commonly known by its brand name Cipro, is one of a class of antibiotics called fluoroquinolones. Drugs Dr. Galili routinely prescribed to his own patients for things like sinus and urinary tract infections.
You know, as a medical doctor myself, every medication we prescribe, there are hundreds of side effects, but you would never think there would be such severe effects.
Until it happened to him, within a week of starting the medication.
I was completely crippled. I had to physically crawl.
On message boards, Dr. Galili found countless stories just like his, from people who said they took the same antibiotic.
I said, oh my God, this drug poisoned me.
But getting help, not so easy.
Most of my physician colleagues had actually thought I was making this up or fabricating the story. They had never heard of this condition occurring before.
Turns out there's been thousands of formal complaints. So many that in May 2016, the FDA warned that fluoroquinolones, including ciprofloxacin, are associated with disabling, potentially permanent side effects that can involve tendons, muscles, nerves, and central nervous system.
It was just unbelievable what a medication that is so commonly prescribed can actually do to someone. If my life had ended at that time, I would have been okay with it.
Galili had to travel to San Diego to find a doctor experienced in fluoroquinolone toxicity. He then turned to alternative therapies to begin to heal. After 6 months confined to a chair, he says a stem cell infusion ultimately got him back on his feet.
Within 6 weeks after I received the treatment, I was actually walking again.
How did you do the research?
Dr. Galili is back at work now, but the course of his career has changed. Priority one?
I'm hoping to raise awareness.
He wants other doctors
to really consider the risks and the benefits when they do want to prescribe this class of antibiotics. I believe it should be used as a last resort in the case that no other antibiotics can help cure a condition.
And while he wouldn't wish his experience on anyone else,
it's a blessing in disguise going through an experience like this, because it really opens your eyes to what your patients are actually suffering and going through, how devastating their diseases can be, and to offer them a helping hand.
Doctor is doing much better now. Now, Dr. Galili told us the stem cell treatment that helped him was an experimental procedure. The stem cells were actually harvested from his own fat. He is now focusing his attention on helping patients looking for answers on conventional medical treatments.